Real quick, before we get into the DSG service, I have something you'll like. We have a new Karma Speed jet tag for GTIs specifically. These go quick, especially when they're car specific. So go grab one on karmaspeed.com. My key looks pretty cool right now for the GTI. This matches the key, everything. Just looks uniform when you have it hanging in your house. If you know someone that has an STI, we have these cherry blossom ones. They look so good, so keep those in mind for any friends. Send them the link that supports the channel. We got WRX, of course, we had to take care of those guys. We don't want them to feel left out. Cummins, Randall's a big Dodge guy, so I had to take care of him and his boys. Karmaspeed.com, go grab one of those, then come back to this video, and hope you guys enjoy it. Today we go over the fluids necessary, tools necessary, and the steps to complete a DSG transmission fluid flush, refill, complete service on it. Really the only thing you need to do to these transmissions, you gotta remove the battery box, and then you're gonna change the filter, put the fluid back in. This goes for a lot of VW models. If you have the Auto, DSG model, GLI, GTI, Golf, all the above, this is all the same. Me and Randall are out here on a Saturday. How you feeling today, Randall?
Feeling good. Vacation's about to start.
We're both actually leaving town at the same time on 2 separate trips. We're trying to figure out if we're excited to go on vacation or more sad to leave work. To get started, we got our drain bolt here. This does require you to take off the intake battery box to get to the filter. So the main things to think about, drain it, and then removing everything from the top, changing out the filter, and then putting everything back. So it's kind of an expensive procedure if you took it somewhere. Pretty cheap at home. So we're gonna walk through, show you how to do that. We do have a lift here at the house. It is like 100 degrees out, so we broke out our shade. Before we get started in this video, you do not need a lift. You can use a simple drain pan for jack stands. I have a video on my second channel linked down below on how to put your car on jack stands. If you've never worked on your car, do it at home, do it in your driveway, in your garage, wherever. Shoot, when I started my channel, I was doing brake jobs and we changed an oil pan on my buddy's car in the parking lot of our apartment complex. Don't recommend, but don't be discouraged by the lift. That's new to us here on the channel. We're all about building confidence in the garage, and I don't want the lift to scare you away. This just makes it possible for me to get closer on things and film better videos for you guys. So once you get under the car, you can see exactly how to do things and where things are at. You could have any sort of drain pan. We have this one for a lift. What size socket is that?
14 millimeter Allen head.
It's a big guy.
Big guy right here. 14 millimeter.
Cool.
It's clean.
Yeah, it looks good. It was probably changed when I bought the car. What size is it?
8 millimeter.
Long boy.
Or not 8 millimeter. It's a size 8 Allen key. It doesn't have to be long either. It just has to fit in right here. After you pull the main drain plug, this plug is going to be just inside, and like I said, you do not need this long Allen head. This head sits just inside of this hole, essentially about that far in, so you could get the job done with a small one, and then once you pull this all the way out, then the rest of the fluid will drain.
First plug, second plug. Oh.
I need to do that as well. That's how I'm feeling right now.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, what was that all about?
He was talking to us. That's all I could think of. How tight?
This one right here is about hand tight.
Any ugga duggas?
No ugga duggas on this one.
To get this job done and done right, we need a couple things. I actually bought a Dsg Service Kit from ECS Tuning. Let's open up this box first. This is gonna make the job a lot easier. This is the Schwaben DSG and 6-speed auto trans service tool. We'll save that. We've got our new billet filter housing. We have a 14, 17 millimeter Allen head wrench, which this is clutch. We actually used a socket when we did this because we have the tools. So if you guys want to do this service at home and you want to save some money on the tools, grab something from karmaspeed.com and go ahead and put in the notes that you want the 1417 service wrench for your DSG GTI, and I'll send it to you. First person that does it. We have 6 quarts of the dual clutch transmission fluid from Motul. Our friends over at Motul, those are our guys. They make the highest quality stuff. We have our filter for our transmission. We have our O-ring for the filter housing, and then we have our O-ring washer for our drain bolt. So we got all this from ECS. Let's go out and look inside the service tool kit. This is going to make life easier because we're not pouring fluid into the transmission, we're pumping it up into, so you need a tool for that. This is the guy right here. This hooks up to an air compressor. We got our hose, some sort of fitting here. We're going to learn how to use this today together. We have this that goes in the bottle, so it's going to go in there. I'm not going to put it in there yet because I don't want it to get oily. When the valve is out like that, that means it is closed. And then if you notice, maximum 20 psi. We'll use our regulator to make sure we don't mess that up. We'll talk about here in a bit. We're going to hook our hose up to the top here, and then this side is going to go into the part that screws into the bottom of the transmission. Our other side of our hose will slide on here. There's some hose clamps provided. We're going to try to not use them. And so now you have this side that goes up in the car, this side that goes in the bottle, air line plugged into here, 20 psi, open the valve, and then it sends it up into the transmission. We're going to go through all 5.5 of these bottles. Service manual says 5.1 quarts.
Threading this on before you put the hose on will make it easier, just because once it's on there, the hose will start to bind up. So after it's drained, just thread this in here, hand tight, like so, and then now you can hook the hose directly up to that.
Before we put any fluid in here, lower the car, take off the intake, remove that, remove the battery tray. We'll have access to the transmission fluid filter, and then we'll put fluid in it. Unitronic downpipe be looking extra spicy. Little charge pipe action.
Oh, 24 millimeter, the filter housing. Do not use an impact on this. Make sure you do it by hand. There's the filter right there.
What in the world is this thing?
Just a vacuum. So a lot of the times, especially on these, this is the plastic drain plugs. People will suck the oil out from the top. Just use this to do that.
Oh. Yet another everyone needs a Randall moment right here.
Make sure your old one doesn't have the O-ring that slipped out. Just like so.
You gotta get every dollar out of that snap-on torque wrench.
Seriously.
I don't think Randall likes when I make comments about his snap-on tools.
This thing was only $700.
I mean, no big deal.
I'm scared to touch it. The rag.
Oh, are you serious? And just like that.
Boom.
Up we go. This is such a nice tool. Oh god, just look at the bottle. It's like playing the flute. Oh, there it goes. I think it'll explode.
I think so.
Oh gosh, dude.
I'm about to have a shower.
Dude, unscrew it, let some air out. You're scaring me.
I think you just pressurize the bottle and then it will do its deal.
That would make more sense. Just load her up with 40 psi.
Oh boy. That would end in a bad day.
I should put my glasses on.
There's still a little left, so don't throw it away yet.
You're going to want to repeat the process with 5.1 quarts of the transmission fluid. Right now I'm getting the new washer for the drain plug for the transmission. This comes in the Dsg Service Kit from ECS Tuning down in the description.
Ready?
Yep.
There it is.
Go ahead. Brake cleaner?
Yep, brake cleaner.
The last part of this process is seeing some live data. I have an OBD11 device that lets me see the temperature of the transmission fluid. That way we can drain the proper amount so the transmission has it filled to the correct amount. And it's kind of the only pain in this process is doing this portion of it. So it's going to want to be between 35 and 45 degrees Celsius, have the car running, and then loosen that drain bolt. Fluid's going to come out in a solid stream, and then once it starts dripping, then you're going to want to go ahead and plug it. So right now the car's running, letting it drain. Once that turns into a drip, then we're going to plug it, and that way you know you're good to go. And there you have it, my car friends. You've officially completed a DSG service procedure. Saved some money, got it done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you learned something. We'll see you in the next video.